Hey everyone, it's JP and I have another tutorial for you. I decided that it might be fun to do some Christmas earrings. So I decided to challenge myself and only use items that are in my stash. So I will not be ordering any new beads for any of the coming tutorials. But I thought it'd be fun to just see what we can do. And if you would join me for the challenge, that'd be great. So if you feel free to post on Facebook. So I do have a Facebook page with the same name, JRPDesigns, just as a channel. And so if you would post your, if you join me in the challenge, so dig into your stash. I urge you to, since many of us are just stuck at home and not being able to see our families, I thought it'd be fun to come up with some tutorials to keep us a little occupied. As we're stuck at home. And so today, these are the two that I'm going to show you, and I will have more tutorials as we go along. And a lot of them are going to be themed for Christmas, as I said. So this particular earring is I call the ornament balls earring. So basically it's supposed to look like a little ornament ball that you would put on your Christmas tree. Mine is round and it's faceted, but if you have just a straight, an unfaceted round, in different colors, so this would be great. So you can change them up and make them in a bunch of different colors. And then the other one here is the snowman. So the snowman's got a little scarf and a top hat. And so, anyway, if you would join me in this challenge and post whatever you make. So let me show you what materials you're going to need. So you're going to need some head pins. So these are 1.5 inch head pins. You'll need 4 of these if you make both earrings, and of course more if you end up making a bunch of different ones, but at least a couple of pairs of these. To make the ornament ball earrings, you're going to need a 6mm round and some 8s. So I'm using, these are silver lined, and I will have all the colors in the description, so sizes and colors and all of that will be in the description box below. So take a look if you are interested in what colors I'm using. But these are I believe these are Siam AB, something like that is what these are, these 6mm rounds. Now, and of course you're going to need lever backs, so you'll need, well, not necessarily lever backs, but some type of ear wire. So these happen to be lever backs. French hooks are fine too. And for the snowman, you're going to need an 8mm round and a 6mm. So I happen to be using pearls, but if you have some white round beads, those are fine. If you want to make your snowman in a different color, that's okay too. So for this scarf that I made here, you're going to need 11s and 15s. I found that worked the best. So I tried doing this with 11s here and found that too much thread showed. So the beads kind of touched each other on one side, but so I found that the 15s in between sort of fill in the gaps. So that's why these are, and I happen to do 2 different colors. You don't necessarily have to do 2 different colors. You can make your scarf all one color. You can make them all red, all white, blue, green, whatever you want to do. Then for the top hat, so if you can see that, I used a 2x3 rondelle. You can use an 8/0, or you can use a cube bead. I have some cubes. I've seen people use cubes. Oops, I just spread my beads. But you can have a little cube for the top hat. Whatever you want to do. Get creative. But, if you don't have a cube, which maybe you don't in your stash, so grab an 8 and an 11. So I have the 2x3 rondelle and an 8, or you can use an 11. 2x3 rondelle, 11. Say that correctly. Or, in this case, you can replace this with an 8 and then use the other 11. Alright, that took me a very long time just to get through the material list. But again, as I said, this is all going to be in the description box too. Anyway, so let's get started. So the first one we're going to make is the ornament ball earrings. So what you're going to do is take your head pin here and just feed your round to it, and then the 8/0 bead here, just like that. Take a pair of flat nose pliers and just bend the wire. So basically you want to bend it down, and this helps keep the beads in place and prevents them from shifting. So as you can see, you need to bend it a little bit more, in order to keep them in place. Just hold it in place and then take your round nose pliers. So I have mine are sort of multi-tiered here, but doesn't matter, whatever round nose. And it's about halfway or so, maybe a little less, and just roll it forward all the way down like so. And what I'm going to do now is grab my wire cutters, and I'm going to just open that up a little bit so my wire cutters can fit through, and then cut a little bit high up here so then I can tighten. And my wire cutters, there we go. They're not as sharp as they used to be, so I probably need to get some new ones. Anyway, you should have a partially opened loop, and that's okay. Just, again, take your round nose and close up the loop. And I just need to straighten it out. And there it is. So just pretty straightforward, simple. Creates a nice little loop, and you've got your ornament ball earrings. I'm going to grab the are these called well, they're not, I forget what these are called, the ear wires. Anyway, so, whoops, not opened wide enough. Get these in and close these up. So these are all set. That's the first pair. Very quick and easy to make, and for someone, you know, these are cute little gifts. So especially for someone who doesn't like very big earrings, these are pretty small and dainty. And you could do them in lots of different colors. So I've got some blue ones, or I've got some blue rounds and green rounds, even some silver ones. So I think they'll be very pretty. And since they're faceted in this case, they sparkle quite a bit. All right, so now to make the snowman, the first thing I'm going to do is bring over the beads for the scarf, the snowman scarf. So as I showed you earlier, here's our snowman, and he's wearing a little scarf that's red and white. You can do whatever color you want. So I've got some 11s and 15s. I found that this worked the best. You can just do 11s if you want. It really doesn't matter. But what I'm going to do is take 4 of each, so 8 beads total, to make my little ring. And 1 more of each. So I've got 4 and 4. That's what you want. Bring those down. You just need a few inches of thread. You don't need a lot. So this, I don't know, start with maybe 6 inches is just easier to work with. But if you're comfortable working with less, you can. So you're going to make a ring, and all I did was go back through the beads, and I'm going to go through them again a few more of these. And then I'm going to tighten it up into a ring like so. So I'm pulling on the tail thread and on my working part of the thread. So the first thing you want to do is tie a knot. So I'm just going to tie a 1/2 inch knot here between the 15 and the 11. And again, pull on both ends so it tightens up the knot quite a bit. Then go through the beads until you're coming out in a bead that's right next to the knot. So just, which is the knot, or sorry, not the knot, but the tail thread. So I got 1 more, I have to go through the white 15 here. And there's that. So I'm just going to make a knot with the tail and the working thread here, the two ends, and tie a knot. So I'm tying a square knot. Just like that, just a straightforward knot, and Then I'm just going to go into the 11 and the 15. And then one more time. So you're just going, you're going through the beads a few times. And this is the little ring you're going to have. And then trim your threads. I'm just going to grab my thread zapper and trim both ends. And you have your teeny tiny little ring. And now grab your 8 and your 6. Let's move these out of the way. Grab your head pin again. So put the 8 through first, then your ring of seed beads, then the 6. And now you can use, so I'm using a little rondelle and an 11. You can use an 8 instead if you don't have this. So this is to make the top hat for the snowman. And or if you have a cube, I did not have black cubes, and I can't find the hole. There it is. Missed the hole. Okay. All right, let's try a different one. It's not fitting through the hole. There we go. So for whatever reason, that hole was a little small. It didn't fit through my hat pin. That's okay. And then the 11 goes on top. And you may run into the same, so I'm running into the same issue. This, and just switch it out. I'm sure you'll find one that's going to fit. Oh, there he goes. So there they are, my cute little snowman. And again, grab your flat nose, and you just want to bend the wire to get these beads to sit nice and tight. Just like that. So don't worry that that's bending up a little. That'll straighten out in just a second. And then grab the round nose. So about halfway or so between, so this is 1.5 inches head pin. I keep saying hat pin, and that's not what that is. That's a different thing. And again, just trim the wire with your wire cutters. Grab the hat pin again. I'm going to straighten that out and really just bring it in. And so there it is. Grab my Earwire here. Seriously, I forgot what these are called. French hooks? No, that's the other ones. Oh, leverbacks. That's it. How did I forget that? These are my leverbacks. And there you go. There they are. So here is my snowman earrings and my ornament ball earrings. All right, so stay tuned. I will have more of these holiday earring tutorials coming up for you. Some of them are sort of winter themed and some of them are Christmas themed. So I will see you again in a little bit.